Well, we flew over Manhattan City in style upstate to the Monticello Race Club over here to drive a special car, a luxury car. Yes, it's the all-new BMW 7 Series. Now, since 1977, when this was first launched as their flagship brand, BMW have always used this car to pioneer new technologies.
Yeah, they started with things like ABS or anti-lock brakes, and we all use it today. Then the later generation car came with xDrive. They pioneered that, and that's on all luxury cars today, a screen-based controller. And there's plenty more on this car.
But what really excites us about it, and has always, is the fact that it's not only a luxury car that offers you the backseat experience. It's also a car that embodies the BMW brand and that driving pleasure.
Yeah, this car, for example, is the first 7 Series with all-air suspension. And BMW say it's not just for the comfort.
Well, that's what they've promised us. This is going to get bigger and better on every front, be it the new technology, be it the comfort experience, or be it the pure driving pleasure. And the entire experience of it actually begins right here with this key. The key fob is like the i8 with a digital display that gives you all the info you need on the car, like driving range, fuel level, oil levels, etc., as well as the option of preheating or cooling the car. So it's not just a key, it's like your gateway to the car. And it's the beginning of all the tech that this car comes with. It's the first car in its segment to combine carbon fiber reinforced plastic with aluminium and steel. The 13 pieces made of this material are woven into the body, not only increasing its strength and rigidity, but also helping it to bring the weight down by 130 kilograms. Now, the version that we had on hand was the long wheelbase, which is what will come to India. This one is 14 centimeters longer than the regular, making it the largest series production car that the brand has ever built. The familiarness of its identity is all there with the long bonnet and the short overhang. The distinct kidney grille, on closer inspection, reveals a change as well. It's now a working part of the car with an extra set of flaps that stays closed or open based on engine temperature. The headlights blend into the central grille now, and those have changed their identity too. The circles are now opened up to expose a blue horizontal bar in the center, which is a laser light, making the high beam doubly powerful with a throw of 600 meters as opposed to the 300 for LEDs. Around the side, there are outward flowing surfaces that have a character line along the shoulder stretching front end to tail. The gently sloping roofline leans towards a more coupe style, and the chrome strip that skirts the bottom curls up towards the front wheel arch, housing the air breathers that vent air from the front wheels or wheel wells. More chrome adorns the window frame, going in one neat piece around the Hofmeister kink, without any panel brakes, giving it a smart look. The tail end speaks of the power up front, with the twin tailpipes that spread far to the sides, and a fat chrome strip garnishes the boot, all giving it a feel of something special. Well, the interior of the 7 Series is truly impressive. In fact, I think it's right up there with the S-Class now, especially on quality of everything on the inside, be it the wood, the really nice leather with the double stitching, or even the textures of the plastic that are on the dash. What's really nice is there's lots of aluminium, which is just genuine aluminium, and even goes down to the little door knobs on the side. So impressive little touches. The dials are crisp, clean digital dials, and they change colors with the modes that you drive in, so it gives you a different kind of experience every time. Everything is here as before. The iDrive is of course there, but now the AC controls are touch, so I can turn the fan up by touch. But what's really new and interesting really is this gesture control. So if I want to turn up the volume, I don't have to take my eyes off the road. I don't have to do anything at all except move my finger, and there's a couple of functions that you can use it for. You can take a call, you can swipe a call off, and there's a favorite function which actually works to change radio stations. There you go. It's pretty easy to use, it's really intuitive, it works extremely well. So that's a new thing. And what else is new is this wireless charging device that I have over here. My phone's run out of battery, I've kept it in here, and it's charging comfortably easy. All I have to do is slip it into the pocket. Well, we're turning this story around a little bit. Today, I'm the chauffeur for the day, and Sharper's going to have the backseat experience. He's going to enjoy himself, and there's a lot more there that he wants to talk about.
Yeah, of course, Renuka, this is the long wheelbase version of the new 7, and plenty of space here, as you can expect, an abundance of space, and a lot of little nice touches here. You get this controller here, which you can eject, very smartly done. pulls it out. You basically get almost every function here which you want. You get climate, media, driving information, settings, apps. You can do practically everything the iDrive does apart from one or two. And you can even set your seat. Like for example, if I want to recline the seat, and it goes right away, assuming there's nobody sitting there. And you can pull out the footrest as well.
You can really stretch out there. I think you could fall asleep if you wanted to.
Yeah, there's a whole load of massage functions which as a driver I'm not sure is good for you. There's hip activation, underbody activation, whole body activation, back massage, shoulder massage, lumbar massage, upper body exercise, whole body exercise. Should I continue?
So he's got the good life over there, as you can see, and I've got the tough job for the day.
Of course, really nicely integrated here. You just drop it in here and you get these collars coming in, holding it in place so it doesn't fly all around. You have the standard now in this class table, and honestly it's so solidly built, this table. You could do whatever you want on it. Keep your laptop here. There's a nice abrasive surface so it doesn't slide around. Put it back just in one shot, nice and neat. You have things like this moonroof, which I'm sure people love, and generally just a really exceptional experience.
But this moonroof and the ambient lighting is something new as well. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah.
The ambient lighting panel was placed on the door in such a manner that it would hide the rubber weather seal, we were told by Kareem Habib, the chief designer. There are 6 color choices that light up the interior along with the panoramic sunroof, which BMW called the Sky Lounge. But it's not only your senses of sight and touch that BMW aim to please. Now there's an ambient air package with a choice of fragrances. That, like in the new S-Class, keeps your car filled with soothing scents. It feels more like a spa than a car, with all the mood lighting, fragrances and massage seats. It's rare that we spend so much stationary time with a car, but with all the bells and whistles that we had to show you, we had to patiently hold back from Monticello's winding roads in the 4.4-litre V8 under the hood of the 750 Li. That's what tempting us. But eventually, we did hit the road. Now the engine we've got here is the V8, this is the 750, it is the engine that you're going to be seeing in India. Of course, we didn't have the diesel since we're in America and it's not a really popular choice over here. But what I can say about this engine is that it is fun to drive. Put your foot down and it serves up this huge amount of torque. It makes this car feel really light and like a compact hatchback. Of course, this car has become lighter in weight as well, which just helps it have this really nice punchy performance. In fact, it's so quick that now this acceleration is in the league of the M cars. That's saying a lot for a car of its size and segment. Very few luxury cars can stake claim to a 4.4 second 0 to 100. This is as quick as an RH to put it into perspective. With the 443 bhp of power and 66.28 kgm of torque, this luxury sedan steps into sports car territory. Mated to an 8-speed ZF gearbox that swaps cogs efficiently and smoothly, performance is exciting to say the least. But try to take a turn in this car and it quickly makes you realize it's really not a sports car, it's very much a luxury limo. Turning this car is really not very easy. It generally requires a 3-point turn. And that's when you realize how long this long wheelbase version really is. What else is really nice here is, of course, as usual with the sport, the comfort and the Eco Pro mode, there is now something called adaptive. What it does is using all the sensors, makes a note of how I'm driving and then adjusts the gear shifts, etc. to my driving style, as well as using the sensors that are attached to the navigation system and judging what's up ahead on the road. Basically, it uses the ideal vehicle setup for motorways or winding sections of country roads, making it sporty or comfortable based on the terrain ahead and the driving style. It works even if the route guidance isn't active. Another safety system that's really interesting over here is this one. Say I'm a little distracted, I've not put my hands on the steering wheel, did you see that? That's it. If I take my hands off for about 15 seconds or so, this will actually steer itself based on the lane markings on the road, picking up the information from the sensors. So a bit of that experience of autonomous driving as well. However, it's unlikely that these systems will make it to the Indian version, given that we really don't even have lanes. Well, that's all the gadgetry, but for those who want to know if the punchy engine is accompanied by sports car-like dynamics as well, listen on. When you want that fun driving experience, put it into sport. Of course, everything hunkers down, and it is an enjoyable car to drive as well. The difference between comfort mode, which has 2 settings to optimize ride, to sport is bigger than ever before and instantly discernible. The 7 turns from a floaty, comfortable limo to a car that tucks into corners in a manner that's pretty unbelievable for its size. Despite my driving this corner a little quick round the bends, Shapur has managed to doze off at the back. Shapur, it's time to wake up. It's over to you now for the backseat experience.
Yeah, can you put it back in comfort?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's comfort, and you have the air suspension making the air springs softer, more pliant, the dampers become softer, they absorb more of the road, and of course the ride is much nicer now, much closer to the competition in the back here, and really comfortable. You have this fantastic seat, really soft ride, double glazing for the windows so they isolate you more, but just a bit noisier than say the S-Class. Maybe that's a little small point for BMW, but they've done a great job in improving the suspension, because now not just the rear suspension rides on air, but the front and the rear. So much nicer on the move as well.
Well, it was time to head back to Manhattan, and as we went to park the cars away, it showed us its last party trick. Not allowed by legislation in USA, we only got to see a demo, but check it out for yourself. The 7 Series, now at the press of a button on the key fob, will park itself into a straight entry parking garage or reverse itself out. The 7 is expected in India next year and likely to be priced around the 1.5 crore rupee mark for the 750 Li, which you saw us drive.
When Mercedes launched the new S-Class, it took the luxury car game a big step ahead. And that of course left the earlier generation 7, not this car, the previous one, a little bit behind.
Well, this new generation 7 Series is all set to change all of that. It's taken big steps forward, and I mean really big ones, whether you talk about interior quality, whether you talk about the comfort, or whether you talk about just that pure driving pleasure. This is a big step forward.
Yeah, the driving pleasure really makes it a bit different. It's just tremendous. It really feels like a slightly larger 5 Series with a huge amount of punch from this engine.
So it's got enough to make the backseat passenger as comfortable and luxurious as possible, and enough to excite the driver as well. I don't know how much of that is going to make a difference in India, where it's all about the backseat in this segment. But I have to say that whichever end of the car you're in, this one is definitely going to put a smile on your face. So if you're in the market for a luxury segment car, know that this 7 Series is right back in the game and definitely one to consider.